my sort of like yearly wiener.
Ooh,
This
big
happened in the last year. That's just really thrown me off.
Yeah.
Is I saw, this is quite a, okay. I saw an acupuncturist.
I've been to one.
Did you like it?
I think I did. My therapist had me go to one for my acne.
Okay.
Just a backstory that
Mm-hmm.
I only can afford it more than that.
Was she popping pimples? That was
Nothing to do about. I think it was a holistic thing.
Yeah, it was.
I think I liked it. Oh yeah,
It wasn't good.
that's actually funny.
Oh, that's good.
I think I was just visualizing that actual moment too hard to get the joke.
Yeah. You were somewhere else.
I was there. I think I liked it. But I think I don't know if it was a placebo.
Sure. Yeah. And I love it. I don't care if it's a placebo. It's working.
Yeah.
But she was telling me that she was like, my energy's stuck a little bit.
Okay.
And that I had a lot of like puffiness in my face, and especially like here. And I'm like, yeah. And like, I was like, yeah. She was like, do you like feel really tired? I'm like, yeah, like, of course, but everyone does. She was like, I think you should get your food allergies tested.
Ooh.
I was like, okay. So I go to this guy, get my food allergies tested. I talk to, so the nurse checks me in, and he's going to administer it. And it's the kind where they prick. It's the skin prick.
Yeah.
And I'd never gotten it done before. So I was like, is this going to hurt? And he was like, oh, no. I've done this like hundreds of times. It's fine.
Is it one prick, or they do a different prick for each food?
It's somehow they did about like 6 pricks, and it was a bunch of foods. I don't really know how it worked. Things bubbled up. Things didn't bubble up. They read it. I don't know. I also think I would love if there's a listener out there that could tell me the scientific. I've asked ChatGPT. I've Googled it. It's like, it is somewhat reputable, but I think it is still somewhat like, some people don't really believe it's real. But it's like, that was an allergist doctor I went to. He was real. And like, it feels pretty official.
Is it like a chiropractic thing where it's not a for sure doctor science thing?
Well, if you ask anyone, they think they are for sure a doctor science, but so I think he is. I just think it's just not super specific. So you could get a lot of false positives is the issue. So anyway, I asked this nurse, I was like, is this going to hurt? He said, oh, no. And I go, well, have you had it done? He goes, God, no. I was like, what? He goes, I don't want to know. That'll like ruin my life. And I was like,
what? The guy that works there?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. And at first I was like, oh, he's just not ready for the truth. I'm ready for truth. I want to be in my truth,
That's also why you're there.
That's why I'm there, is to get better.
Yes.
Like I want knowledge. And then they tell me, and I'm like, take it all away. I want to know nothing. Erase this all from my memory. Oh my God. So it came out. So it's a scale of like 0 to, if you score 8, 9, 10, like you're dead. If you eat a peanut, if you're like an 8 on peanuts, it's going to be bad. So I scored, the very highest thing I scored was a 5 on Brazil nut. I've never had one in my life. And the doctor was like, yes, a lot of people. He was like, the Brazil nut is the nut that's left over in the mixed medley of nuts, as nobody wants them. That's how he spoke. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, so that's not a bad one. I was like, no, that's fine. So he keeps pricking, and he goes, oh. And, so he pricks, and he's looking, and he's like, oh, we've got a 4 on avocado. And I was like, oh, avocado. And he's like, oh, and we have a 4 on raspberries. I was like, oh, like, I mean,
he's listing good foods.
Good for me foods, right?
I eat avocado and raspberries all the time.
I know. I would prefer a blueberry if I'm doing a preference, but I will eat a raspberry if it's coming at me. And so, and then he says, by the way, I'm face down, no top on.
He's giving you the news while
He's
you haven't
reading
gotten,
it while I'm down.
Not let's get dressed and then
No.
go over your.
Not yet.
What?
Yeah, because he's having to read it out to the nurse, and they're writing down these numbers.
Okay, it's still going on.
Yeah. So then he says, 4 on coffee.
Oh no.
And he also had said pork. So he said avocado, pork, raspberries. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm like bacon? Like, oh my. And then he said coffee. I jumped up, I grabbed his arm. And I said, no. What if it's decaf? He goes, it's still coffee. I go, drip versus espresso. He's like, it's still coffee. I was like, I don't. And I was so sad. And I had a coffee with me at that meeting at the doctor. So I went ahead and finished it because I thought that wouldn't be right. And then I went back and I found out grasses and things. It's weird to me though. It's like, I'm actually not allergic to dust. It just seems like everyone should be kind of allergic to dust.
I agree.
But I haven't known really what to do with this information because I started drinking a lot more tea. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a coffee because I would fall off the wax. Like I'd go off and then I'd have like a shot and then stop again. He said to cut everything out that's bad for me for 2 weeks or bad for me and then reintroduce it. That's the only way you know for sure if it's bad. I've yet to cut it all out, everything for 2 weeks to then reintroduce. I think I've now cut out coffee for 2 weeks. But coffee, what am I supposed to look for? Because it doesn't make anyone feel good. I also have cut out, I thought for 10 years I was bad with dairy. That's what I thought was bad for me, stomach wise. Turns out it was the 5 or 6 coffees I was having a day with the almond or oat milk was not the situation. So I've just been drinking milk now. I'm a child. I drink milk and I put whole milk in my matcha lattes.
Damn.
I've just eaten cheese like it's no problem because apparently I don't have any issues with it. But it's all because of this prick test. And when he said, yeah, that one's hard for a lot of people about coffee, that was really annoying. And then when we had our Zoom to go over everything, we hit the Brazil nut again. And I once again said, it's just weird. I've never had one. And he said, yeah, the Brazil nut is the nut that's left over in the middle. He just repeated
said it again?
So that's his go-to joke for the Brazil nut, which makes me wonder, there's maybe a lot of people out there. I mean, I'm assuming because it seems like he's done that more than just for me.